Good evening, Professor Dwyer. I chose to do my oral presentation virtually. So, I do have some notes on my phone here just to keep me on track throughout this presentation. So, I chose to write my essay about how accurate the Hamilton musical was and if they portrayed the events correctly and how they also used literary elements. So I broke down my essay into the three major parts of Hamilton's life, which was his early childhood life, the marriage scandal, and his battle with Aaron Burr. So in the beginning, Alexander Hamilton, he was born to a Scottish trader, James Hamilton, and his mother was, I believe her name was Rachel. His father ended up abandoning the family, and 2 years later, his mother ended up passing. The people on his island did raise up enough money for him to go study in America because they realized how talented he was when it came to writing. So in the musical, they have the opening act describing just that in a song called Alexander Hamilton, which broke down his childhood, the events that led him to end up studying in America. And then the scene breaks into the year 1776. So during that year, he was studying at King's College. He ended up getting involved in writing pamphlets, and he did eventually lead the Continental Army. And then the year after that, George Washington did notice him and wanted him to be a part of his team because he realized how skilled he was, and George wanted someone on his army that he knew was going to get him to where he wanted. So in the musical aspect, I didn't find that they portrayed that specific part accurately because they showed him and Aaron Burr getting along and them meeting, and then they end up going to a bar and kind of getting acquainted. From my research, I didn't find them to meet until years after, so I didn't see that as pretty accurate. But the George Washington part, they did break into a song called Right Hand Man because George did want someone on his team that was going to lead them to the win. So the second big part of Alexander's life was, of course, the marriage sex scandal with Maria Reynolds. They had plenty of songs that broke down each part of that affair. One of the songs was Say No to This, which explained how Hamilton did not in fact say no to Maria and her seducing ways, and how Mariah's husband James blackmailed him for it and wanted him to pay him money as hush money, basically. Another song was, I believe, called We Know, which Jefferson and Aaron Burr did find out about the scandal and accused Hamilton of using government funds to pay James, Mariah's husband. And Hamilton himself did come out with his own explanation of the affair called the Reynolds pamphlet. And in the final moments of Hamilton's life was the big battle between him and Aaron Burr. In the musical, they did accurately show that. And in the last scene of the musical, Hamilton is seen leaving for the duel. His wife is telling him no, wanted him to stay. But fast forwarding to the actual battle part, shots were thrown, some were missed, but Hamilton was the one who ended up dying the next day, And the musical closes out with his wife telling her final thoughts about her husband and how she'll be able to continue his story and legacy. I concluded my essay by saying that the musical did show the historic events by using imagery and incorporating songs that represented each event that happened in his life. So that is what I wrote my essay about, and thank you.